Hi, Starfield fans. This is your addicted hostess, Daywalker. Yes, I'm back again. I have another custom build for you, though, and this time it's called the Pink Panther. You saw a little bit of as we were flying in to show this off, and I hope that you'll enjoy this build video as well. For those of you who stick around, I have a little bonus extra at the end. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you want to check it out, be sure and hang in there. In the meantime, let's get into the tour, and then we'll do the build up. So here's the Pink Panther, and we're going to go take our tour now. So let's run up here, and again, I'm at my outpost on my landing pad with the shipbuilder here. As we walk into this build, we walk into that 3x2 cargo bay. So the main area down here is all cargo. The main section is the cargo bay down here. This is a pretty massive little area. But as you can see, I have no additional ladders. I just have the one ladder here in the center as you come in. That ladder takes me to the docking port if I am docked with another ship, as well as all the way up to the second and third level of this ship. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up to the second level and take a look at it. When I get off the ladder here, I come out into this companionway here, and then my control station. So that's the only thing that's here on this level is the control station, and then the access through another storage room into the cockpit. And Barrett, you're standing in the way. Yes. So the second level is basically very clean and not a lot of functionality other than just the control center, the ladder up, and the cockpit. So let's go up to the third level.
Hey, Captain.
And up here, this is where you have the connections to the wings. There's not a lot of habitats in this, but there's enough, I think. If I run down here, you've got a great view out of the porthole front. And this is the 3x1 living quarters. I like that it has the workout equipment. It's got beds. It's got a sitting area for the crew. Statistics on the ship, dartboard, more sitting area. I bet you that even turns into a big screen TV. Yeah. And then going back this way, it's identical, remember, on the other side. So we've got the hallway here, the porthole in the front, and your 3x1 living area. It's got a full galley, so you can cook and everything. It's got your beds, so that gives you a couple of beds plus couch area or whatever to sleep. So full living quarters, your control center. I want to jump all the way down. Oh, there we go. Your cockpit, and then your full storage. So it's very workable ship. I like the layout. It's not overdone with habitats, but it's got all the working pieces that you need if you're out and you're doing some jobs. Plenty of place to store stuff. So that is the tour of the Pink Panther. Okay, so let's take a look at the Pink Panther here and Shipbuilder. I am on my outpost, so a lot of the parts that I need are on my outpost. Those parts that are not in the Shipbuilder on my outpost are a list, and they're in the video here. You can also pick this up and Look at them there, but I'm going to bring them up here so you can see them. In Hopetown, on the planet Polvo in the Velo system, you're going to need your reactor and a couple of the Heb cross braces. Stroud Eklund and Teo Engineering are both located in Neon in the Volley system, and you can get both of what you need at those two vendors there. The last piece, and again, this is optional, is the scanner jammer and any other shielded cargo holds you want. You can get it from the Starship vendor at the Red Mile, Parama 3 in the Parama system. So a lot of these pieces and parts you can just go gather up in advance. So for example, just going to give you an example. First of all, before I even start, a lot of these parts are that I use in my builds are based on the fact that you've gone through a lot of the storyline. You've completed the UC at least far enough to be able to, do your first mission and complete that and get the Vanguard weaponry. It assumes that you've gone far enough through um, some of the other quests, like with the Mr. Stroud Eklund in the lodge to get the engines, the Sal 6830 engines, once you finish his quest line with him. So some of these are dependent on that. Some of them are also dependent on your levels, what level of character you are. So a lot of this is kind of end game. So if you don't have them, just substitute the ones that are kind of like it, but at a lower level, and probably you'll be fine. So in this case, we're going to go through and we're going to pick up some things like if you wanted to go take one of your ships that you're planning on breaking apart and creating this new ship with, take that one and it's flyable. You go to Hopetown. You take the existing reactor out of your ship and put in the new Pinch 8Z reactor. You buy a couple of those Heb cross braces, stick them anywhere on the build. You should be able to save your ship, get out, and then head to Neon. When you're in Neon, go to your astroneering first and get your landing gear. Strip all your old landing gear off and put these 7 4G landing gear on your ship. Should be fine. I don't think you will get an error by having excess of landing gear. You only get an error if you don't have enough landing gear. So grab them and put them on your ship. You should be able to get out, run down to Stroud Eklund, and put on the your cargo, your extra Heb, the 2x3 cargo Heb, and your Helion beams. Those should be able to be just stuck on anywhere, and pull your old engines off and stick on the new engines. You should be able to save and be able to get out and then head back to your outpost. Okay, you can go get the scanner jammer if you want to, but at that point you should have all your pieces and parts and should be able to head back to your outpost, and everything else will be available to you. All right, that's how you do it if you haven't got all the parts in through a mod or whatever, which is a lot of times what I use. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this thing apart, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about how putting it all together. Since you've got all your parts now, let's see how it's built. Okay, so I've exploded this apart into the wings, left and right wings, the front cockpit area, the mid or basic body of the ship, and then 3 sections back here for the workings, where the reactor and fuel and everything are, the staging area or connective parts for the engines themselves and the engines back here. So I figured we'd tackle each section individually and put it together, and then we can connect each section as we're going. So we're going to start here with this cockpit up front. I'm going to pull it up here, and then I'm going to tear it apart, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go through this front section and look at the parts and how we're going to put this back together. We're going to start right here with the basics. We're going to the ship bed 200 landing bay. That is the first piece that you usually start with when you're building I do at least when I'm building from scratch, is to get that landing bay in place. Then we're going to put on top of that landing bay, we're going to put our tail storeroom one by one. It is the bottom B. I like it because it's very clean, not a lot of clutter, so it makes getting from the cockpit back to your main area really nice and easy. We're going to next attach our cockpit. It's the Viking CP220 cockpit, and we're going to attach it to the storeroom. Okay. On top of the cockpit, we're going to put a equipment plate, and then if you got it, the scanner jammer can go on top of that. If you don't have it, you don't have to put the equipment plate or the scan jammer on top of there if you opted not to get that. Otherwise, that's where I put it. These are the Hope 6 landing gear. One's going to go on this side, and the other's going to go on this side, right there next to the, attached to the landing gear itself. So that's how that's going to look. Kind of the lights kind of come out just past the landing gear. You can kind of see that. And then we're going to attach the wing A and the wing C. These are both Deimos parts. We're going to attach those together. And then I'm going to hold down my control key as I click both of them, put them together, and they're going to come right here along the cockpit and that storeroom. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with the wing A and the wing C, put them together, and then join them on this side of the cockpit. Then the last thing to attach here on these wings are the Furminator 8000 suppressors. We've got 1, 2. There are going to be a total of 4, but there are only 2 on this front part. And then we're going to use this tail forward sensors. You can use any part that you like, really, that looks the way you want it to look. I just liked how this kind of looked as it was sitting up there. And it kind of removes that dead space. And then I'm going to put my shield, which is an Assurance SG1800 shield generator, and I'm going to put that right on top of this forward sensor. And that is the front piece completed. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it aside. And we're going to move into this midsection piece. So I'm going to be right back after I get it tore apart, and we'll start covering it. Okay, for the midsection, the major portion of the midsection is this Stroud cargo hull 2x3. This is the kind of the base and the, I want to say, the basis of that main floor and what's built on top of it. So we're going to start with that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this 100 DP slim docker, and we're going to put it on the bottom of the front middle, right there on the bottom of that front middle on this 3x2. Okay. And then this piece right here, which is a shroud control station 2x1, that's going to set right on the center. And then this this is the tail companionway 1x1 top B. I'm going to set that right on the top, right there, on top of the control center. Now, what happens is, because they're all stacked right here together, when I come in through my storeroom from the hatch, from my entry, I come into this part right here in the cargo bay. There's a ladder that goes down to the docking port, and a ladder that goes to the second floor and on up to the third floor. So there's one ladder that runs through this section right here, and that's the only ladder in the ship. Okay, the next thing is to add this Nova bracer. We're going to put that right here behind the companionway. And then on top of those, we've got the Deimos bumper. This is the top 4. That sets right there. And this is the top mid. Now, these are easy enough to change. All you have to do is do next variant, and you can come up with both the front facing, the rear facing, and then the mid one. So those are pretty easy to change out and use for decorative. Okay. Now we want to put the wings on. We've got a wing A here, Deimos wing A Deimos wing C, another Deimos wing A, come on, and another Deimos wing A, another Deimos wing A, another Deimos wing C, and then you have the last 2 of the fulminators are here. So we're going to go ahead and just stick those on to the wings. And let's attach this to these wings. Okay. Each of these are going to go onto the side of the cargo hole. So right down here. And this kind of sticks out, and that's supposed to back there. All right, so let's get this one, and then we'll put that on the side of the cargo hole. And then these 2 wings are actually going to go onto the control station itself, right here. Kind of fills in that space a little bit and gives it kind of that consistent view. So that's your midsection. Not really complicated, and there's not a lot of parts, but that's the midsection. Now, if we want to attach the midsection to the front section, let's bring this over. And this is going to attach with this center attaching to this center. Okay, so when you pick this up, you might have to change your view a little bit just to make sure you're getting it in the right place. But you're going to pull that together, and you're going to make sure that it goes right in the center, and it should snap right in there for you, like that. Now we've finished the front, basically front half of the ship. All right, so let's put that aside. And let's talk about this section back here. I've broken it up into 3 sections, but there's not a lot of parts in each section. So I think what I'm going to do is explode it all out, and then we'll put them together as one big section in the next set. So let me get those exploded, and I'll be right back. All right, so let's tackle these pieces here. As you can see, I've got them all exploded out all the way back. So this is that whole section. I call it kind of the engine compartment / working section. So up front here, we have these pinpoint 4G landing gears that you would have gotten from Teo Engineering. And there's actually 3, 6, 7 of them in this grouping. Okay, so you needed 7 of those. All right, so the first 3, we're going to plop those and put them together. And on top of this left one, we're going to add our pinch 8Z reactor. And that actually isn't going to attach at that point. Let's go the other way. We're going to put the J52 gamma grav drive. And then we're going to add our 900 helium tank. And then we'll be able to attach our reactor, the pinch 8Z reactor. That's that front part right there. Then our next section, we're going to take the pinpoint 4G landing gears. We're going to put 3 of them together here. And on top of that, we're going to put Stroud mid bracers. There's going to be 3 of them. They're going to go on top of the landing gear. And then there's going to be 3 more of those mid bracers. And those are going to go on top of that. So you got kind of a stack of 3 going up here. All right, and then on top of the middle one, you're going to have this Deimos Spine G top. It's going to go right in the middle here. and it has on top of it one of those Exterminator 95 MeV auto helium beams that you picked up from Stroud Eklund in neon. All right, then that's that section. Now we should be able to take this and just hook it right to that. So the landing gear is level across the bottom, and then you have all your workings here on top. All right, we're going to kind of take this and put it over here for a second. And go back to this piece back here where we have the landing gear in the middle. And we've got one of these Polo 2030 cargo holds on each side. And you would have gotten those Polo at the Stroud Eklund as well. They're in neon. And then on top of that landing gear, we're going to put this Hope Tech Cap B mid-top. That's going to sit right on top of there. And then on top of that, we're going to put this Hope Tech Riser B right on the middle. And then we're going to pull this Damas Tail A aft and set it right on top of that block. And then the last two of your Exterminator 95 MeV auto helium beams are going to go one to each side of this tail section. Okay. Now I can't attach my engines at this point. There's no attachment point, but I can pull this over and I can now attach this to the back of this. Now make sure that's level because it should be at the bottom level here so that your landing gear is all level down here. And then you should be able to pull your engines in and stick one on the left and stick one on the right. There. That completes that back section right there. So let me pull this and put it out of the way a little bit. And we're going to pull the first section that we completed, the front, the mid, and now we've got the back. So I want to take this and I want to make sure that goes right in between those wings and underneath of that spine there. See how that fit? That's how that should fit, right in the middle there. That's why I kind of left these wings kind of off, poking out in the back and this up here, because then I knew exactly how to pull that in and place that. All right, so let's move this all out of the way again. And let's take a look at the wings. Both of these wings are built exactly the same. So if you know how to build one, you should be able to build the other one the same way. Or you can build them both at the same time and put them together, okay, and then attach them. So I'm going to explode this out. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's all the pieces and parts to our wing. And we're going to start with this is kind of our primary piece to the wing. And this is our Deimos Living Quarters 3x1. And it's the same on the other wing. Let me actually pull this down here and we can use this as a visual guide here. So this porthole 4 goes on the front of that 3x1 living quarter. And then we're going to connect the HAB cross brace, the Hope Tech HAB cross brace, right to the front section of that living quarter. And then here I have an equipment plate and a Vanguard Obliterator auto projector. Those are going to set right in the center right here. These Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, there are 6 of them. Okay, so 3 on each wing. As you can see over here, 1, 2, and 3. So that's how we're going to put those on. Okay, so then at that point, we're going to connect the these shroud mid bracers, and I've got a stack of 2 of them here. So I'm going to put one on the back of this habitat and then another one right underneath it like that. Okay, and then we're going to take this Deimos braking engine and we're going to put it see if I can grab hold of it. I'm going to put that right in the front of this mid bracer. So it's right to the front of that. And then we're going to take this 10 ST hauler shielded cargo hold, and that's going to go underneath of that stack of 2 mid bracers. So it's down like that. Then we're going to put this Nova bracer on top of those 2 mid bracers. We're going to take the Nova weapon mount and attach that to the Nova bracer. And then here's those other 2 Vanguard Obliterator, and they're going to go on each side of that weapon mount. And now we have the wing part over here. We have a wing A, a wing C. We've been using a lot of these in this build. Another wing A. We're going to connect all those together. And that's going to go as a set right there on the side of the habitat of the 3x3 and kind of stick out back here. That's, yep. And then we're going to attach this, which is a Nova radiator. That's going to get attached right there to the Nova bracer. You can kind of see that over here. And then lastly, we've got an engine, one engine here. These are the SAL 6830s. And put another one there. We've got a total of 6 of these engines. 2 on each wing, and then the 2 that we put in the back there. And that puts our wing together. And this wing is exactly the same with the hab being the 3x1. You've got your cross brace, got your mid braces with your storage, and then your weapons here, and your 2 engines, and then the wing section over here. So it's very similar. Well, they're identical. So we're going to move these out of the way, and we're going to pull up our main piece that we've got here. We're ready to attach the wings, which is the last piece here. Now, you're going to want to make sure that when you're attaching this, you actually line these engines up. They should be right next to each other. Okay, and it should fit right in there just like that. Your hab cross brace is going to connect into this companionway. And let's grab that other one. Make sure we line up those engines, and that goes into that companionway. And that puts the ship together. As you can see, we don't have any problems. We're in nominal. We don't have any errors. We've got our mobility, top speed, our cargo. Everything is as it should be. Last but not least was the color paint job. If you want to have it the same way I have painted it. The first paint was this one right here. I started out with this pre-select, and then I moved these around a little bit to give me the color that I wanted, which was more of that pink Panther vibe. It's kind of a cross between pink and purple kind of, but this is where I put those. The second color was a pure white. That should be all the way over. And then the third color was black, and you want to move that all the way to the left to make sure that you got a true black. Those were my colors. All right, and then you're ready to save your ship and go take it for a flight. I'm actually going to cancel here, but that's the build. So I kind of mentioned at the beginning that there'd be an added bonus if you stuck around to the end. And that added bonus is going to be a quick walk through the habitat that I have at Hyla 2 here. It's up on a mountain, so we've got totally great views, but without further ado and without a lot of words, you've just got to see it. So here we go. As you can see, I've got a lot of the glass habitats all through this, with that one exception there, because I wanted the great view from up here. So let's go take a look at that view. All right, so the first habitat here is kind of the dining, kitchen, lounge area. You got the dining, full cooking, got your coffee and drink machines, and a couple of places to kind of sit and watch the big screens. Yep, there goes security. He's checking things out. But let's take a look at these views out here. Now it's raining right now, so you're not going to get the greatest view out there, but look at that. Up here on this hill with these views, this is why I built up here. Look at that. And it's 360 all the way around. Well, you can see the ship over there. And some people will ask me, where did I get the big platform? And that is a mod. So you won't have that in vanilla. But you can still build up here. You'll just have to put your spaceship down below. In the second level here, I have all my workstations. So you've got your, these were part of the habitat. You can set those up and connect them together. They're little pieces. And you've got your workbenches, some storage cabinets, and then of course all my storage stacked up over here. These are a couple of mod pieces. Having a trade authority here is kind of nice because I don't have to run to the trade authority. And then this is a recycler. It actually extracts the legendary parts off of particular guns or gear that you get. It'll take the parts off of it and give you can use on other weapons or materials. So you're gonna have to move, dude. Yeah, he's just excited to have company. This third habitat area is kind of I would call it the office desk area. So you've got a place to sit here, got some weapon racks, and the crew quarters display cabinet, a couple of mannequins, a couple more desks. So it's just kind of a office area. The third section back here is the bedroom / living room. So you've got the couches, got beds, got one full bed and one bunk bed set in here. Some storage. And then the last one is the bathrooms. And this is why it's not glass all the way around, because it's a bathroom. Who wants to come up here and, yeah, with glass all the way around? So you got one little bathroom stall here. You've got another little bathroom stall here. Got your sinks and everything over here. And some storage, and then some workout equipment. So that is the outpost. So, oh, and let's look at these views. Looks like the rain's clearing up. Look at that. That is why I did it up here. Isn't it beautiful? Hyla 2 in the Hyla system. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side.